You know, sometimes in life, as we get a little older, things change. Our bodies change. Our routines change. And sometimes, without even realizing it, we develop certain habits or tendencies that, well, let's just say they might be more noticeable to others than they are to us. It's a tough truth. Isn't it that some aspects of getting older aren't just about aches and pains, but about little shifts in how we present ourselves or interact with the world that people see but feel too awkward or polite to mention? It's like there are these unwritten observations, these little ugly things that everyone notices but stays silent about. It's a painful reality because nobody wants to be that person. Right, the one who unknowingly makes others uncomfortable or is the subject of quiet whispers. But the secret is, these aren't character flaws. They're often just habits that creep up or challenges that feel overwhelming. And the really good news is, they're almost always fixable. And you absolutely have the power to change them. In this video, we're going to gently look at 5 of these common, perhaps unspoken, things, and more importantly, we'll dive deep into simple, practical ways you can easily address them. Ways that will not only make you feel better about yourself, but also improve your interactions and relationships. It's about living confidently and joyfully at every age. So stick around, because watching to the end will reveal something that might just surprise you about how much control you have over these very things. Let's start with something that might feel a little personal, but it's a really common area where things can sometimes slip. It's about how we present ourselves to the world, our grooming and appearance. Now, I'm not talking about needing to be runway ready or spending hours in front of the mirror every morning. Not at all. But have you ever noticed that sometimes, as folks get older, they might seem to let their appearance go a little? Maybe clothes aren't quite as clean or well-fitting. Hair might seem a bit neglected. Or perhaps personal hygiene isn't as meticulous as it once was. It's something that's often observed, but rarely, if ever, discussed openly. And it can subtly impact how others perceive us. And, more importantly, how we feel about ourselves. Why does this happen? Well, sometimes it's simply a matter of reduced energy or mobility making tasks like laundry, shopping for new clothes, or even just reaching to tie shoes or style hair. Feel like a bigger effort. Arthritis can make buttons and zippers tricky. Vision changes can make applying makeup or even shaving precisely more difficult. Sometimes, it's a loss of interest because of loneliness or depression. When you don't feel like you have anyone to see or anywhere to go, the motivation to tidy up can wane. Or perhaps, and this is completely understandable, after decades of keeping up appearances for work, family, and social obligations, there's a feeling of I've earned the right to just be comfortable. True. And absolutely you have. Comfort is key. But comfort doesn't have to mean neglecting the simple things that help us feel put together and respected, both by ourselves and others. The ugly part isn't the comfort itself, but the point where letting things go starts to impact our self-esteem or creates a barrier in social interactions. Imagine meeting someone you haven't seen in a while. While they might express concern or just make a mental note, it can sometimes lead to unintended pity or assumptions about your well-being that aren't necessarily true. And for us personally, when we don't feel good about how we look, it can dampen our mood, make us less likely to go out, and become a self-fulfilling prophecy for isolation. So, how do we address this gently and effectively? It's about finding that balance between comfort and care. It starts with small, manageable steps. Think about your clothes. For example, are they comfortable? Absolutely prioritize that. But also, are they clean? Do they fit reasonably well? Clothes that are stained, worn out, or significantly ill-fitting can inadvertently send a message that you've stopped caring. This doesn't mean you need a brand new wardrobe. It could be as simple as going through your closet and getting rid of things that are past their prime. Donate clothes that are in good condition, but you no longer wear or fit into. Invest in a few basic pieces that are easy to wear, comfortable, and look neat. Maybe some well-fitting elastic waist trousers, a few simple tops that wash and wear well, a comfortable but smart-looking cardigan. Look for fabrics that are easy to care for and resist wrinkles. Perhaps consider adaptive clothing if dressing has become physically challenging. There are wonderful options now with magnetic closures or easy-on designs that look just like regular clothes. Pay attention to smells too. Clothes can hold odors if not washed regularly. And sometimes medications can affect body odor. Using a gentle detergent and making sure clothes are fully dry can help. Don't forget about shoes either. Comfortable walking shoes are essential, but ensuring they are clean and in good repair makes a difference. Scuffed or dirty shoes can detract from an otherwise neat appearance. Beyond clothing. Think about personal grooming. Simple things like keeping fingernails and toenails trimmed and clean. If bending down is hard, treat yourself to a pedicure occasionally, either at home with assistance or at a salon. For hair, find a style that is easy to manage but still makes you feel good. Regular haircuts, even just a trim, can make a huge difference. Consider a rinse or subtle color if graying bothers you, or embrace the silver with a great cut that suits it. For men, keeping facial hair neatly trimmed or being cleanly shaven matters. Dental hygiene is crucial, not just for health, but for fresh breath and a pleasant smile. Make sure you're brushing twice a day and seeing a dentist regularly. Again, if mobility or dexterity is an issue, talk to your dentist about tools or techniques that can make it easier. And lastly, a simple daily shower or bath and using deodorant makes a world of difference. If standing in the shower is difficult, a shower chair or handrail can provide safety and support. It's about making these routines manageable. Maybe you don't need to do everything every single day, but finding a rhythm that works for you is important. If energy is low, perhaps you alternate tasks. Focus on clothes one day, hair another. The key is consistency with the basics. This isn't about vanity. It's about self-respect and maintaining a sense of normalcy and capability. When you feel you look presentable, you feel more confident, more willing to engage, and that opens doors to social interaction and opportunities you might otherwise shy away from. It tells the world, and more importantly, tells yourself, I'm still here, I'm taking care of myself, and I'm ready to be a part of things. Sometimes just putting on a collared shirt or a nice blouse, even if you're just staying home, can lift your mood. Try it. Pick one small thing today. Maybe just ensuring your outfit is clean and coordinated, or taking a few extra minutes on your hair, and notice how it makes you feel. It's often the small acts of self-care that have the biggest impact on our overall well-being. Addressing this area is a fundamental step towards feeling vibrant and engaged, which ties directly into our next point, about something else that can subtly impact our lives and relationships. Now that we've talked about how tending to our outward appearance can boost our confidence and interactions, let's shift to something less visible, but just as impactful: our mindset and attitude. This brings us to what could be seen as the second ugly thing, which is falling into a rut of constant complaining or negativity. Have you noticed how some people, as they get older, seem to focus almost exclusively on what's wrong, their aches and pains, the declining state of the world, how things aren't like they used to be, or the perceived slights from others? It's human to complain sometimes. We all do it. But for some, it becomes the dominant mode of communication. Every conversation becomes a list of grievances. While friends and family are initially sympathetic, over time, this relentless negativity can become draining and push people away. It's one of those things nobody will point out directly, but you can see it in their eyes or the way they start making excuses to shorten phone calls or visits. The ugly part isn't the genuine difficulties someone might be facing. Aging often brings health challenges and loss, and it's absolutely okay to talk about those things. The issue arises when complaining becomes the only topic, overwhelming any potential for positive interaction or shared joy. Why does this happen again? It's not usually malicious. Pain, chronic health issues, grief over the loss of loved ones or independence, financial worries. These are significant challenges that can genuinely make life feel difficult. It's easy to get caught in a cycle where the difficulties are all you can focus on. The world is changing rapidly, and sometimes it feels like it's leaving you behind, which can be frustrating and scary. Complaining can sometimes feel like a way to connect, a shared misery bond. or a way to elicit sympathy or attention. But often, it has the opposite effect. People want to help or offer solutions, and when those are met with more complaints or reasons why nothing will work, they eventually feel helpless and retreat. It becomes a self-reinforcing pattern. Complain. People pull away, feel lonely, complain more. The good news is that shifting your mindset, while it takes effort, is absolutely possible, and it can dramatically improve your quality of life and your relationships. It's not about denying that problems exist, but about finding a better balance and actively looking for the good, no matter how small. One powerful technique is practicing gratitude. It sounds simple, maybe even a bit cliché, but consciously taking time each day to think about things you are thankful for can rewire your brain. It could be something as small as a warm cup of tea, the sunshine on your face, a comfortable chair, a kind word from someone, or a good night's sleep. Try keeping a small gratitude journal or simply spending 5 minutes before bed, mentally listing 3 things you were grateful for that day. It forces your brain to scan for the positive, rather than dwelling only on the negative. Another strategy is to catch yourself when you start complaining. When you find yourself launching into a list of woes, pause and ask yourself, is this helping? Is there something constructive I can do or say instead? Sometimes, just voicing a complaint once to acknowledge it is enough, rather than dwelling on it or repeating it to multiple people. Try to balance talking about challenges with talking about positive things. Something interesting you read, a pleasant memory, a small success, or something you're looking forward to. Ask others about themselves and genuinely listen. Shifting the focus outwards can help break the inward spiral of negativity. Physical activity, even gentle movement, can also have a profound impact on mood by releasing endorphins. A short walk, some stretching, or chair exercises can help lift your spirits and give you a more positive outlook. Finding activities you enjoy and pursuing hobbies can also provide positive things to talk about and focus on. When you're engaged in something you love, whether it's gardening, reading, painting, or puzzles, it naturally brings more positivity into your life. It's also important to distinguish between complaining and genuinely seeking support, or discussing a problem that needs a solution. There's a time and place to talk about your health concerns with your doctor, or confide in a trusted friend about something difficult. The difference is the intention and the outcome. Are you looking for help or just venting endlessly? Learning this distinction is key. By consciously making an effort to focus on the positive, practice gratitude, and manage the urge to complain constantly, you not only make yourself more pleasant to be around, but you also feel happier and more hopeful. It's a powerful shift that can transform your interactions and bring more light into your days. This leads us to our third point, which is closely related to both our appearance and our attitude: the importance of connection and avoiding social isolation, building on the idea that our attitude impacts our relationships. The third ugly thing we sometimes see, but rarely talk about openly, is the tendency towards social isolation and withdrawal. As people get older, social circles can shrink due to various reasons. Friends and family move away or pass on. Mobility issues make it harder to get out, or hearing and vision problems make social interaction more challenging. Sometimes, as we just discussed, negativity or neglecting appearance can inadvertently push people away, leading to a vicious cycle of loneliness. The ugly part here isn't wanting quiet time or feeling tired sometimes. Those are normal. It's when withdrawal becomes the default, leading to chronic loneliness, which is incredibly damaging to both physical and mental health. Loneliness has been linked to increased risk of heart disease, depression, cognitive decline, and a shorter lifespan. It's a silent epidemic that people often feel ashamed to admit they are experiencing. Nobody wants to feel lonely, yet it's easy to fall into patterns that lead to it. Maybe you stop accepting invitations, find reasons not to go out, or spend all your time alone at home. While it might feel comfortable or safe in the short term, in the long run, it can lead to a deep sense of disconnection and make it even harder to reconnect later. People might stop inviting you because they assume you're not interested or able to come. This isn't because they don't care, but because repeated rejections can feel disheartening. So, What can you do to combat this tendency towards isolation and nurture your social connections? It requires conscious effort, especially if you've been out of the social loop for a while. Start small. Reaching out can feel intimidating. But remember, many people, especially other seniors, are likely feeling the same way. Think about the people you used to connect with: old friends, family members, former colleagues, neighbors. Could you send a card, make a phone call, or send an email just to say hello and see how they are doing? Don't wait for them to reach out to you. Take the initiative. A simple, "I was thinking of you and wanted to see how you are," can open the door. Look for opportunities to connect within your community. Senior centers often have a wide range of activities, from exercise classes and art groups to card games and day trips. Libraries host book clubs and lectures. Community colleges offer continuing education classes. Local charities and organizations are often looking for volunteers. This is a fantastic way to meet like-minded people while also giving back. Religious institutions often have strong community networks. Find something that genuinely interests you and commit to attending regularly. Consistency is key to building new relationships. Don't expect to become best friends with everyone overnight. But regular interaction creates familiarity and opens the door for deeper connections to develop. When you are with people, practice active listening and show genuine interest in what they have to say. Ask questions about their lives and experiences. Share appropriately about your own life, including both ups and downs. But remember the balance we talked about regarding negativity. Contributing positively to a conversation makes you someone others enjoy talking to. If hearing is a challenge, let people know. Perhaps suggest quieter places to meet or ask them to speak up slightly. Don't let a practical difficulty become a barrier to connection. Connecting with younger generations is also incredibly enriching. Spend time with grandchildren, nieces, nephews, or younger friends if possible. Their energy and perspective can be refreshing. Offer to share your skills or knowledge, teaching a craft, sharing historical stories, or helping with homework can create wonderful intergenerational bonds. Don't underestimate the power of online connection either. Platforms like Zoom can allow you to see and talk to family and friends who live far away. Social media, used cautiously and wisely, can help you keep up with what people are doing. But it's not a replacement for face-to-face or voice-to-voice interaction. Making an effort to stay connected isn't just about having people to talk to. It's about feeling like you are still a part of the world, that you matter, and that you have valuable contributions to make. It provides support during difficult times, shares joy during good times, and simply makes life more interesting and fulfilling. It takes courage to put yourself out there, especially after a period of withdrawal, but the rewards are immeasurable. Prioritizing social connection is an act of self-preservation and self-love. Now, let's move on to another area where we can sometimes get stuck in our ways, impacting our adaptability and interactions with the world around us. Moving along from the vital importance of staying connected. Let's talk about the fourth area where we can sometimes get a little stuck, and it's something people notice, particularly younger generations, but rarely comment on directly. This is the resistance to change or a certain stubbornness, particularly concerning new technology, different ways of doing things, or accepting viewpoints that differ from our own. The ugly part isn't having preferences or values. Those are essential parts of who we are. It's when a rigid refusal to adapt or consider other perspectives becomes a barrier to learning, connection, and navigating the modern world. Think about someone who absolutely refuses to use email or a smartphone, missing out on communication with family or essential services. Or someone who dismisses any new idea or way of life instantly, because that's not how we used to do it. This kind of rigidity can make interaction frustrating for others and isolating for the individual. As the world continues to evolve, why might this happen after living for many decades? You've developed routines, gathered a wealth of experience, and seen trends come and go. There's a natural inclination towards what is familiar and proven. Learning new things, especially technology, can feel daunting, like learning a new language. There might be a fear of making mistakes or feeling foolish. Sometimes, there's a sense that the old ways were better, and a resistance to changes that feel unnecessary or even negative. And let's be honest, the pace of change today, especially with technology, is incredibly fast and can feel overwhelming for anyone, regardless of age. But completely shutting down to change can limit your opportunities and your ability to connect with the current world and the people living in it. Addressing this isn't about abandoning everything you know and believe in. It's about cultivating a sense of curiosity and openness. It's about recognizing that while your experience is valuable, the world is constantly moving, and staying engaged means being willing to learn and adapt. Start small with technology. Is there one piece of technology that could make your life easier or help you connect with family? Maybe it's learning to use a video call app to see your grandchildren, or ordering groceries online if getting to the store is difficult. Don't try to learn everything at once. Focus on one specific goal. Ask a patient family member or friend for help. Look for community classes specifically designed for seniors learning technology. Many libraries and senior centers offer these. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Everyone does when learning something new. The key is persistence and patience with yourself. Beyond technology, cultivate an openness to different ideas and perspectives. Read books or articles from different viewpoints. Listen to people with different life experiences. Even if you don't agree with them, engage in discussions with the goal of understanding, rather than winning an argument. This doesn't mean you have to change your core beliefs, but being able to understand why someone else thinks differently enriches your own understanding of the world and makes you a more engaging conversationalist. It helps bridge generational gaps too. Ask younger family members about their lives, their challenges, and their perspectives without judgment. You might be surprised at how much you can learn from each other. Staying curious and willing to learn is also incredibly good for your brain. It helps keep your mind sharp and adaptable. Try learning a new skill, taking up a new hobby, or even just taking a different route on your walk. These small acts challenge your brain and keep it nimble. Embracing change isn't about conforming. It's about empowering yourself to navigate the world effectively and maintain your independence. It makes you more interesting to others and keeps you feeling vibrant and alive. It's about proving that you are not defined by a fixed point in time, but are a dynamic individual capable of growth and adaptation at any age. This willingness to engage with the present and future ties into our final point, which is about our physical environment and how it reflects and impacts our state of mind. Finally, let's touch on the fifth thing that can sometimes become noticeable, something often seen in the home. And that's the accumulation of clutter and a certain disorganization. Now, this isn't about being a minimalist or having a show home, not at all. But as we get older, it can become harder to manage possessions. Mobility might make it difficult to put things away or clean thoroughly. Sentimental attachment to items can grow, making it hard to let things go. Sometimes, it's simply a lack of energy or motivation, whatever the reason. Unchecked, clutter can build up to a point where it becomes overwhelming, potentially unsafe tripping hazards, and can make a home feel less comfortable and sometimes even unpleasant for visitors. Like the other points, this is often noticed but rarely addressed directly by friends or family, perhaps for fear of offending. The ugly part is not the possessions themselves, but when they become unmanageable, impacting your living space, your peace of mind, and potentially your safety and social life if people hesitate to visit because of it. A cluttered environment can also contribute to feelings of stress and anxiety. It can make it harder to find things, make cleaning feel impossible, and visually just feel overwhelming. It can reinforce feelings of being out of control. On the other hand, a tidy, organized space can feel calming and manageable, making everyday tasks easier and your home a more enjoyable place to be. Addressing clutter can feel like a monumental task, especially if it's accumulated over years. The key, just like with the other points, is to start small and be consistent. Don't try to clear out the entire house in a weekend. Pick one small area, one drawer, one shelf, or even just a corner of a room. Set a timer for a short period, say 15 or 30 minutes. During that time, focus only on that small area. Have a few boxes or bags ready, one for trash, one for donations, and maybe one for things that belong elsewhere in the house. As you go through items, make quick decisions. Ask yourself, have I used this in the last year? Do I need it? Does it bring me joy if not? Can it be donated or discarded? Be honest with yourself, but also be kind. It's okay to keep things that are truly sentimental. But you don't need to keep everything. Maybe you can take a photo of cherished items you don't need to keep physically. Once your timer is up, stop. Even if you aren't finished, deal with the bags immediately. Take out the trash. Put donations in your car to drop off. Put away the things that belong elsewhere. This prevents the sorting pile from just becoming another clutter pile. Repeat this process regularly, a few times a week, or even daily for short bursts. Consistency over intensity is key. Over time, these small efforts will make a noticeable difference. If mobility or energy is a significant issue, don't hesitate to ask for help. Could a family member or friend dedicate a few hours to help you with a specific area? There are also professional organizers who specialize in helping people declutter, and many are experienced in working with seniors. It's an investment in your peace of mind and the usability of your home. Focusing on safety is also paramount. Clear pathways. Remove tripping hazards like stacks of newspapers or electrical cords across floors. Beyond decluttering, establish simple routines to keep things tidy. Try to put things back where they belong immediately after using them. Make the bed each morning. Spend 10 minutes tidying before you go to bed. These small habits prevent clutter from building up again. Your home is your sanctuary, and keeping it manageable and pleasant makes a huge difference in how you feel every day and how comfortable you are inviting others in. It's an active way of caring for yourself and your environment. So, we've talked about tending to our appearance, managing negative thinking, staying socially connected, remaining open to change, and managing our living space. These 5 areas, our presentation, our attitude, our connections, our adaptability, and our environment are all aspects of life where small shifts can make a tremendous difference, not just in how others perceive us, but in our own happiness and well-being. It might feel a bit uncomfortable to think about these ugly things because they touch on areas we might not want to confront. But remember, these are common human tendencies, not failures. Recognizing them is the first, most powerful step towards making positive changes. Making even one small change in any of these areas can create a ripple effect, boosting your confidence, improving your mood, strengthening your relationships, and making everyday life more enjoyable. You have so much life experience, wisdom, and value to offer the world. Don't let these subtle habits or challenges overshadow your incredible spirit. You deserve to feel good about yourself, to have rich and rewarding connections, and to live in a way that brings you joy and peace. It's about embracing this stage of life with confidence and grace. It might surprise you how many people face similar challenges or tendencies. You are absolutely not alone. Talking about these things openly and honestly, perhaps with a trusted friend or family member, can also be incredibly freeing and helpful. Support networks are vital. Remember, small changes really can make a big difference to your health, your happiness, and how you experience the world. Don't feel pressured to fix everything at once. Pick one area that resonates with you the most and start there. With just one small, actionable step, celebrate the small victories along the way. You are capable, you are resilient, and you deserve to live your very best life at every age. What do you think? Have you noticed any of these tendencies in yourself or others? What strategies have worked for you in staying vibrant and engaged? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights could help someone else. If you found this video helpful or thought-provoking, please give it a like, as that tells us we should make more content like this. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more tips and ideas on living a fulfilling and joyful life as we get older. Thank you for watching. Keep embracing life fully